Alright, hey everybody. So this module has been mainly oriented toward tools that help with your work within a business. And in that vein, another useful area that can help you in is honestly working with your presentations. It can AI tools are very useful when it comes to editing your slide deck or just creating drafts if you're a little bit unsure of what you want to do. So I have this proposal that we're going to use as a base point, right? It's a very basic proposal on creating a chatbot for a graduate advising assistant to assist university advising departments. Has some information of how it's going to work, some milestones, um, some risk analysis, very comprehensive. It's 11 pages into it. But say that I want to pitch this to someone, and ignore that archaic way of me going into here. Um, I can just go here because Google now has the ability to use Gemini with allow you to use Gemini with the slides that you want, or just creating new slides completely. And let's go ahead and choose presentation beta. So I'm going to say, hey, create a series of slides for a pitch about a graduate assistant chatbot. The information about this chatbot will be provided in the attachments. Bang, let's go ahead and add from the drive. And right now we have that, perfect. And let's go ahead and submit this, right? So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you whether you want to base the style of it off something specific. Now I don't have many slides on me in it, but let's choose this just for funsies. That has a very specific aesthetic that will be interesting to carry over into this pitch. If there's any information outside of what we initially gave that we want to provide, we can add it here. So this is for a pitch, but it could be anything. Say that you want to provide like statistical information about something that you're working on, or a series of graphs that you really want like involved with your slides. You can go ahead and do that. This just shows where it's connected, and then it's going to start processing. Now it's going to ask another series of questions a bit because this is like a step-by-step process, and it involves you every step of the way, which is pretty convenient. So for just momentarily, we're going to go switch over to another area really quick. So here's a fake proposal about bacon. And off the cuff, you can really edit this still the classic way, where you can move stuff around, right? Or say that I want to remove this border, I can just, or change it. I just can go ahead and do that, right? Completely valid. You can insert generated images, text information, videos, whatever you want. And let's go ahead and let's make an image really quick. So I want an image of a man eating bacon. So you can make this image whatever, and you can insert it in order to assist your slides. Now let's go back really quick just to check on the next set of questions. So this is really convenient because it lets you cater. So see here, who is your primary audience? So let's pretend it's the department leaders because this is a pitch, and we want to have a balanced level of text and data density because we don't want to overwhelm them with all the information, but we also want to give them an idea of what it looks like. We'll go with medium length just to show the basics of more or less everything, since it was around a 10-page document more or less. And we'll detail the milestones and present the problem and solution. Bang. Next. It's going to go ahead and process. I'll try this. And that doesn't look too bad. So maybe I want to insert this into somewhere like here, right? Let's go ahead. More or less good size. And I'll go ahead and put them here. And now we have some more bacon-oriented images for our slides. Awesome. Let's say you want to do something more than images, though. Say that you want to freely see how the slide can be enhanced, for example. Here is your current slide. We can just go ahead and click here, enhance this slide, and it's going to go free reign in trying to reformat it in a way that's maybe a little bit more appealing than what exists right now. So let's see what it comes up with. It shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to go really quick, check on this really quick. And while that's going on, I'll just explain this. So, like I said, in creating a draft of the proposals, it's going step by step and showing you what it's asking you how you want to orient things. By the end of it, it's going to show you a series of topic points for each slide. And if you like them, whatever, you can go ahead and keep them, or you can rename them as you want. Either is perfectly fine, but it is there if you want to edit it in any way, and then when you're satisfied with this, you just approve it. Updating the plan, it's going ahead and doing that. And here. So let's return back. So what we were doing before, we were editing the slide, using enhance the slide. And it's more or less the same, but as you can see, there's a slight difference in how it's arranged, just a little bit. And we can keep this, or we can not. So I'm going to go ahead and say I don't want this. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to ask it to do something else. And just we can ask it more specifically what we want of it as well. So say I don't like the way that this text is set up, right? I can say please center the text of this slide. I'll specify slide 1. Enter. And we're going to let that gestate and check out here really quick. It's still ongoing, so alright, we'll stick to this for now. Nothing too crazy, it's processing what we asked it for, and bam, it's reoriented the text so it's all in the center like I asked of it. Now, really quick, sometimes it's going to give a good suggestion and you can give feedback about that, or sometimes it occasionally messes up. Maybe the images are just like a little bit off in terms of like on the slide, or the background gets fudged up. You can go ahead and mark that it's a bad suggestion if you want to provide feedback for this tool. And again, we can either replace the previous slide that existed, or we can, keep the original if we prefer the original. So I'm going to go ahead and replace, because last time we threw out the generative slide. Bam. Now we have a centered slide. Now let's do that one more time, just to let's see, what would be a good slide to reorient? Here. So this section should be a series of bullet points. Please edit slide 8. Meantime, this is still updating. So we'll stick to this. And yeah, this is just receiving the information that you've given it and seeing what it can do. Now I'm going to note, this worked, right? Now we have bullet points, but I could have just gone and inserted bullet points myself, and they would have taken a lot less time. So you don't always want to rely on the AI tool either. It's incredibly useful. It really helps when you're trying to redefine a flow. Let's say it one last time, and we'll just reorganize this. It's great for all of that. But at the end of the time, these are your slides that you're making, and you want to enhance and tweak them to what you want specifically. Not just leave them to however they were made. Bam. Another arrangement. And like you see, the plate with the bacon got a little messed up on the process. So we're going to go ahead and decline that. But that gives you an idea. So returning here though, this is almost done. You can see the beginning formations of these slides. They're looking not so bad. Which is great for us, obviously. But let me show you one extra thing, actually. So keep in mind, this tool, when it comes to editing existing slides, is limited to a slide-by-slide basis, by the way. So if I were to ask, hey, I would like this to be compressed from 8 slides to 5. Now it's going to process the request, but it's not going to be able to do it for us. So keep in mind that there's still a little bit that this tool, as of now, in July 2026, is not able to do. I don't know if this will change in the future, but right now we still work with constraints. See? Response. For now, I can only edit 1 slide at a time. So keep that in the back of your mind whenever you're using this to edit. Perfect. So now we have a series of slides on a graduate assistant chatbot created from nothing. Now it took a little bit of time because there was a lot of information given to it. I gave it 10 pages. But this isn't a bad starting point either. It generated some images of the advising, like showing how busy it is. It shows an example of the chatbot on a phone that the students communicate with. It's using existing images from the actual proposal itself. We actually set that up, including the actual timeline. So yeah, it's not necessarily perfect or whatever, but it's a great starting point when it comes to what you might be working on. And the aesthetic is really very similar to what was offered to it as well. Now again, not perfect. We'll see how the slide's kind of blank. This isn't an infallible piece of software. It is capable of making mistakes and not always providing you the best content. But we went from having no slides to 8 in the matter of, 10 minutes maybe? So obviously it's incredibly convenient. And you can have this running multiple times if you want to have like different variants of drafts that, you can take a look at and see, like, maybe, do I want to look like this, whatever? What if I change the tone here? What if, I wanted the audience to be this instead? So yeah, this should give you a base idea about Google Slides and editing with Gemini. Hope you enjoyed this. Now take this and go and make something yourself just to have a better understanding on this tool set. Watching this is fine, but you definitely want to maybe take like a presentation you've made in the past, upload it onto Google Slides, and just have Gemini tweak it a little bit, or maybe you have like an essay or something, and go ahead and just really get into it, because you get a better feeling for any of these tools and conventions if you're really in it, down in the trenches and messing around with it, rather than just watching. So keep that in mind, and see what you see for yourself. Have a good day.